Welcome to Kentucky Roll Call.
Here's a swing and a drive to deep left. Back goes Nixon. Looking up. Daly wins it. Daly wins it. Daly wins it.
With Walker and Peak.
Woodson from the gun. Play fake. Step it up. He's throwing deep down the near sideline. He's got Johnson. 20. Down. 5. Touchdown. Kentucky.
When Mitch called me and talked to me about being the head coach here at Kentucky, I understand the assignment. We are here to win banners.
Back outside. This is the point where he always hits it. Oh! Aaron Harrison beyond belief.
Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. February 12th, 2026. Hey, that means we have a Friday the 13th tomorrow. Hope you're having a great morning into your afternoon. I am TJ Walker, joined in studio with Corey Price for Trivia Thursday, and across the wall is one producer, Matt Childress. If you'd like to be a part of the show, text on in 502-414-1450 into the Gameday Men's Health text line. Sorry for missing yesterday. Never like missing shows. Does happen from time to time. We are just in March is going to be here before we know it, but in our household, we are in survive and advance mode, just getting through the days as we can. The 1-year-old has been sick, just off and on, really, seemingly for about 10 days now. The 4-year-old has probably had a little something, but not as bad. But now it's her winter break, her midwinter break, whatever they officially call it. Which we got off like President's Day or we got off MLK Day or something like that. But we didn't have a midwinter break back in my day.
These kids are soft these days.
Where we had to climb 2 miles in the snow, no shoes, both ways. But it's midwinter break time. And then back in the fall, our school did, and our school is the same one that Mike Rutherford's at as well. Just from a, I think, geographical standpoint, we both live by each other. I don't think either one of us went to that school for what it's worth. But they did a fundraiser back in the fall, and the reward for meeting the fundraising goal was a day off of school, which I'm like, who are you rewarding here? Which obviously it's the students, but even more so for the students, them learning is more of a reward than them being off. So they're off today, tomorrow, Monday, and Tuesday.
Wow. And
we had parent-teacher conference this morning. Always interesting. First off, the dynamics of it, this is for a preschooler for what it's worth.
Right.
You go into the room, you go into the parent-teacher conference, and the teacher's there, but you're sitting at tables for 3-year-olds and toddlers. So I have to just
tight squeeze.
Yeah, you just have to go and sit down. It's like just looks like a Billy Madison scene.
Right.
And then they just go through everything that your kid is doing well and things they need to improve on while the kid's just there.
Your daughter does not eat glue.
Well, that actually was point number 3 that we're going to work on. No, it was good, and nothing was a surprise. So everything that they're seeing at home that is a positive, we see frequently, and the things that she needs to work on, we notice at home. So we'll continue to work on
her jump shot or what?
Yes, and perimeter defense.
Yeah, Makes sense.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's been what we've been up to today, and we sent the 1-year-old back in. It's crazy. Everybody's sick everywhere. I saw some other schools, they're just like, hey, we're off today. Too many people are sick. Too many teachers are sick. I know it's going around Louisville, and I'm sure probably the rest of the state, but be safe if you're out there. We are streaming on the YouTube. Say hello to us there if you're there. Didn't bring a hat today, which is unfortunate for all the viewers there.
Your hair is glorious, TJ.
Thanks. It was kind of a rough night. A lot of I had a scratchy throat at midnight. I was like, oh, great. It goes to all the kids. Now it's going to me. Here we go. I was just sick last week. The voice was a wreck. I could feel it going away. It doesn't sound perfect right now. Woke up feeling much better, though, so I think I'm okay. Well, actually, I woke up feeling kind of but once I got moving, feeling good now. No fever, nothing like that, no cough. So just going to roll with it, and hopefully I can make it through the week. But Corey, how are you? What's up? What's new in Corey Priceland?
Not a whole lot. My Wednesday night was
Getting a shout out on the coaches show is pretty cool. Way to go!
yeah.
You did it.
Well, Leach is the best. Last night was pretty uneventful. I met a friend at Beat Ups to eat. That was about it.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Do you owe them a lunch?
No, just we meet once a month. We used to work together at Kroger, so I guess to keep in touch, we meet once a month to eat.
No, that's nice.
Yeah.
You owe anybody else a lunch?
I do. Yes, I voted for. I feel like since the Nixon.
You can just bring it in to the studio.
Yeah, I want it to be personal.
This is personal, especially when I dominate your trivia. It's personal.
Yeah, well, I mean,
this is personal.
Man, this is.
I'm a busy man. We're busy boys.
Yeah, well, you're a husband and father, so much more than me. But yeah,
you're a trivia and stat expert.
It doesn't mean I'm always busy. So
busy looking up stats and facts.
Sometimes
You're the expert.
Yeah. Sometimes you said expert, not me.
Oh, 502-414-1450. Gameday Men's Health text line. What's up, producer Matt?
Nothing much. It's been a decent day so far. A good show on Just the Cats this morning. This was the first day of this week that I had some notes ready to go, but there was just not a lot going on besides, the college basketball games last night, which I touched on, but it still went well. I, for a little bit this morning, thought that I wasn't going to be able to do the show because I woke up like 11 times last night and just dripping cold sweat.
Oh.
I don't know what happened. I went to bed perfectly fine, woke up, and I felt like I'd slept for like 15 hours. I was, like I said, I was soaking wet from sweating my butt off, and then I freaked out, ran upstairs, thought I was like, oh my gosh, I slept through the show and this and that, and I looked at my phone, it said 11:45, and like I said, I'm in a daze, so I was like, oh my God, I slept so long, I'm about to miss Kentucky roll call as well. So I ran upstairs, realized it was pitch black darkness outside, and I was like, oh, I actually only slept for like 1 hour, and I don't know, it was just a weird night. I didn't sleep very well, woke up this morning feeling awful, like just disgustingly sick. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to not do the show. I'm going to get ready, get up, take a shower and everything, see how I feel after that. I took like a sauna/shower where I, showered myself and then for like 15 minutes just kind of sat there in the steam and just relaxed, and I felt a lot better after that. But so other than that, first 30 minutes of my morning, it's been great. It's been a great day. But it was a rough start.
Well, I'm sorry you're not feeling all that great.
I feel like better now. I'm still not 100%, but I'd say I'm about 75% now. I'm feeling better as the day goes on.
Yeah, if this was 6 years ago, they'd shut down the country with the way everybody's sick right now. Everybody is sick. It is true. It's going around. Well, hopefully you'll feel better. Take care of yourself. And fingers crossed for myself as well. And I don't know. Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do. How we're gonna get through tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday. We'll find a way.
We'll go through this together.
We'll find. Yeah, we sure will.
I saw the gourmet meal you put on the other night.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's some Dino Nuggets when Dad's in charge.
I like Dino Nuggets.
Mac and cheese in the microwave.
I'm never gonna hey, that might be my Super Bowl plate for next year.
It's like that country song, although I should know. Is that who sings that? Tim McGraw? It's certainly not Tim McGraw.
Couldn't tell you.
Mr. Mom.
Lone Star.
No idea.
I believe it's.
I think
Lone
you're right.
Star.
Yeah. I think you're
And
right.
I think Michael Keaton was in a movie called Mr. Mama, I believe.
Of course.
Which I'm sure you've seen since you're a film buff.
I think I just Googled Mr. Mom, though, to see who actually sang the song, and that movie popped up, so 1983, if that's a question. That sound about right?
Not a question today, unfortunately.
Oh, that is a bummer.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that I've been Mr. Mom under any capacity. Got the best wife who's doing a lot as well as
Shout out Hannah.
Again, just try to figure it out. Hey, speaking of mail and you owing me lunch because of mail, what did you see the male Seneca fight? Were you there for that?
I was not.
What's up with you all fighting everybody?
I saw.
You're not gonna fight me, are you?
No.
Ah!
I saw it was.
Did
close.
Ryan get tased at this game?
Maybe. I saw. I think Mail was down 1 with like 50 seconds left, and Colin Jefferson just flat out just pushed the guy. So I don't know. who knows? I think they're 1-5 in the last 6 games.
They're losing that big guy.
Trey's out. Jordan's out. I think for a few more games, or maybe 1 or 2 more games, and that's our top 2 players. I mean, not make excuses, but yeah, it's.
St. X is losing left and right,
Yeah,
but by like a
Ballard,
point,
Cal,
a point or 2 points to Ballard,
North
point to
Oldham,
Cal.
I think,
North
fairly
Oldham not
recently.
too long ago. So
Mail and the king of the bluegrass.
it's going to be
Had a good lead in that Ballard game for a while.
I think both games. They've blown some big leads several times this year. But they're close in these games. I'd like to think once it gets to be time.
7th region is going to be wide
It
open
is.
this year.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
It's going to be fun to see how that all shakes out. And Matt, I listened to a little bit, I think, on the way or to or from those parent-teacher conferences, and listened to you and Scoots. You two got a good thing going. And I mean, obviously, you and Michael do as well when you're all are there, especially on Tuesdays when Corey Price. But when you all were talking, whether sports or just kind of nonsense, I enjoyed the conversation.
I appreciate it. It's been fun. This is like I've covered for the show multiple times, and I feel like I've kind of improved here and there. This is the first stint of covering for that show that I've gone home almost every day and thought I did a pretty good job, and it's been a lot. I can tell that I'm getting better at just extending my points on things without repeating myself or going over the same thing twice and stuff like I'm able to extend conversation and make it more into a conversation than just me reading off the notes I have. I feel like I've gotten better at that. So that's been a nice little time this week. I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's good stuff there. You and Scoots filling in. But, of course, you can listen to Just the Cats 8 to 10 every morning here on Big X Sports Radio. This is Kentucky Roll Call, and Stephen Peak is in Lexington. Is Mark Pope talking right now?
He is. You may pull it up?
Yeah, I guess just get it pulled up. We
give me 1 second. I'll pull it up.
20 seconds of it, or 20 seconds up to a minute of it, but we wouldn't
He's
wouldn't
going
play.
to say a player is beautiful.
Oh, what?
I guarantee it. That's just what.
Yeah, does he say or is it like a
Pope does.
situation is beautiful? More like, it's a beautiful thing when you can do this, and isn't it beautiful when everybody blah, blah, blah. He'll get asked about the documentary. Did you see the highlights for that?
Briefly, yeah. He's shown some fire, yeah, and that.
What? Oh, in the doc. Yeah. Okay, so who's making it? The CBS?
CBS.
And it's
yes.
in between the Final Four and the National Championship game. I watched it. I thought it was cool. It's going to kind of stink just watching UK lose left and right early on in it, but hopefully they were there for I don't know if they were there for the LSU game or not. But
the last time this happened was the 2013 season, and we saw what happened there.
Yeah, not necessarily the last time, because there was film proofs back during Oscar's time at UK, but it was such a
wasn't released,
mediocre time in Kentucky basketball history. They thought best not to release it, but supposedly they were very deep into releasing it. Were about to, but they were just like, this is not all that great for a team that was pretty mediocre, and it certainly was.
Well, they were fine up until St. Peter's. I mean, they were a.
I think it may have been the season after.
Oh, okay.
With Kaysen.
Gotcha.
I could be wrong. It could have been, or maybe it was both. Maybe they were there for a little bit of both those seasons.
I got it pulled up if you guys.
Because I did hear that somebody said that they were with Ty, and that would have been one. But then it was also after the Kansas State loss. So maybe they were there for like a year within Kentucky basketball. Right. But if you were there for the St. Peter's loss, that would probably be worth showing. Just, sorry, Kentucky. I know we said we were going to give you some creative control, but at the end of the day, this is a pretty historic upset. We're going to show that. So it ended up not getting released. But you are right to say that they were there for the NIT year in 2013. So that didn't go all that well either.
No.
All right, here is Mark Pope. Let's see what he's got to say.
It would be naive of me to think that we're not going to have any more difficult stretches. We will, but what gives me incredible confidence with this group is that they keep getting up, right? And to get up, you have to get better and learn. And this has been a learning group. It's a group that's been really resilient, and will continue to be that throughout the rest of the season. And I think it's going to give us a chance to land in a good spot. No more questions.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I said we weren't going to play a lot of it. Mark Pope said bet. Bet.
That usually lasts till 12:30 at least.
He looked actually annoyed because he finished his statement and then looked up for questions, and he just threw his hands in the air and slammed his hands on the table. It's like, oh, no more questions. I guess just got up.
Well, to be honest, I had briefly jotted down the one thing that we did here. we will have more difficult stretches, but why? Maybe not, right? Like, couldn't you not have difficult stretches? Wouldn't it be better if we didn't have more difficult stretches moving forward? But I get his point, and he can make the case that within a game you could have a difficult stretch. Losing one game would indicate a difficult stretch. He's probably right. I'm coming into this show probably 5 minutes after looking at an Adam Luckett tweet of the projected KenPom SEC bracket. Have you seen that?
I have not, no.
As the bracket as of today, Kentucky's in second place in the SEC. Florida destroyed Georgia last night. That one was pretty much over from start to finish. Florida got out to like a 10-0 lead, 14-2, something like that. Georgia made one push then to make it like 17-13, and then it was never close at all. So Florida is a game ahead of Kentucky in the SEC, which is not what we were looking for necessarily. That being said, Kentucky's second place. So if the SEC tournament started today, UK would be the 2 seed playing at 7 o'clock on Friday in the SEC tournament. Based on KenPom standings, Kentucky's projected to finish as the 7 seed in the SEC tournament. And I'll just say this. We've all liked this stretch of UK basketball over the last month. It's been fun. I guess since January 7th, they've lost one game,
right?
Which, cool. That's what we're looking for. More of that, Mark Pope, during your time here at Kentucky. But if you were to finish this season out where you're the 7 seed in the SEC tournament, I would be, once again, a little disappointed with this season, which I've been disappointed at times. But you have 7 games left, and the truth is it's actually, sadly, not all that impossible. So even though I'm saying I would be disappointed with that, and I would be a little disgruntled with Mark Pope and just the season in general, which it has been a roller coaster of a ride, so it's not all that and Mark Pope could be right. There are more difficult stretches to be had. You have Kentucky tied for second with Arkansas. UK has the tiebreaker, winning down in Fayetteville. And then including the Cats and the Hogs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams within a game of one another, which would be seeds 2 through 8, which is crazy to think. You could just, within one game, flip between second seed all the way to the 8 spot. Now, there's 7 more games, and that will take care of itself as the season goes. But the 9 seed plays on Wednesday. So when you're talking about seeds 2 through 8 being interchangeable, the 9 seed is playing on an entirely different day. And they're only 2 games from the 9 seed. Now, Kentucky is 3 games, or 2.5, I guess. Yeah, what is it? 3? Yeah. No, Kentucky's only 2 games on the 9.
Wow.
So you have all those teams, 2 through 8, and then a game behind that is the 9 seed playing on an entirely different day. And then Georgia and Auburn, who Kentucky plays both those teams, they're only 3 games out from Kentucky and 2 games out from that big muddled mess at 7-4. So there is a lot to be determined.
But
man, what if Kentucky ended up playing on Wednesday in the SEC tournament?
I mean, for Saturday we're playing for first, because if we beat Florida, we're tied. And
you're right. So you need to just win and not take care of that. So when I hear Mark Pope say, "Well, difficult stretches," I don't like that.
We came in late on that press conference. I'm wondering if maybe there was a question that the guy fired up or something, because that's not really like him to get kind of flustered at one of those pressers.
What do you mean?
Like Matt said, he threw his hands up and slammed them on the table. Was like, okay, I'm out.
We only saw like the very end of it, so maybe I just took it differently. But like I'm the one, like you guys are just listening. I'm watching it. It wasn't. Yeah. You know, Mark Pope is very avid when he's joking. You know, whether that's a rough joke or a good joke, we've seen both. But he like looked kind of disgruntled when almost like he wanted something else. Like he wanted the conversation to go into a more positive manner at the end. Dudes were just done. Like,
I kind of just brushed off that comment as like not overly serious, but he really looked kind of he looked a little ticked off.
Not like angry, but like the way, you know, like his face. He's a very emotional guy, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. Like when he threw his hands up in the air, like he didn't look like he was joking. Like it looked like it was genuinely. Like I could just be reading into stuff too heavy, but he didn't look excited to be done yet talking.
I don't see anybody making any sort of stink about it, but I do see some notes courtesy of Jeff Drummond. He said that on Jaden Quaintance, that Kentucky started him on a very, very light, not even a return to play, but a rehab and management of the swelling.
That just now started?
Yeah, no kidding. Jeff Drummond says he doesn't really give a direct answer, so there's a follow-up question. Will they maybe just rule him out for the season? Pope says no, too important if he can get back and be able to play. Jokes, what would we talk about if we don't talk about this all the time? It's noted that he wasn't asked about this last week.
Maybe he's annoyed about JQ questions.
Ask more JQ questions.
There was plenty of people in the YouTube chat that it was just like 10 people being like, I need to hear more about JQ. Somebody asked about JQ, this and that.
Not even a return to play, but rehab and management of that swelling.
I feel like that should have been happening.
What was he? If that wasn't happening, producer Matt, what was he doing? Just like playing video games?
I guess. Just sitting on the bench, hanging out. It gives me the one way I can spin this positively is maybe he was literally, as Mark Pope said at the moment, in full shutdown mode. And then now that Kentucky's had more success, maybe he's like, oh, maybe I do want to come back. So now he's trying to rehab. But at the same time, he should have been doing that anyway. It shouldn't have mattered if you wanted to come back or not. If you're thinking about your draft stock in the future, you should have been rehabbing immediately as soon as you were capable of doing so.
Yeah.
If it's just knee swelling, I can't imagine you can't rehab pretty soon.
Couldn't agree more. And for the conspiracy theorists out there that were like, okay, his dad's tweeting stuff. He's not playing. He wants to play, supposedly, and then he's not playing, and then the dad's tweeting stuff. So maybe this is not necessarily all knee swelling, although that could have something to do with it. I don't know if those quotes really make you feel any bit better about that. Because if you're just now starting the rehab and management process, seems unlikely that you're going to get him back. So then a follow-up question of why not just ruling him out, and he says no to that. Well, is it because can you just kind of snap your fingers and maybe make it all better? Or do you think there's a chance he comes back March 15th and that's when you get him and it's just for maybe a couple games, but that's that? And of course, he could give more detail on all of this, but instead is vague and broad just with every answer he's given on the JQ situation, which it may just be that he can only say so much, which probably is exactly the situation.
This gives me the exact same vibes I was getting when people were asking Pat Kelsey about Michael Brown, where he kept giving these very vague answers of, oh, he's working hard. We're getting him, but we're doing this. We're doing, and then everybody was like, okay, can you just tell us, is there a time frame? Is there anything? Is he coming back? Is he not? Like, I got to the point where when I was listening to that, I started taking the exception of maybe Pat Kelsey's just like us. Maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe the whole thing with Michael Brown's camp is taking control of this stuff. Maybe he has as little information as we do. I'm starting to get to the point that with Mark Pope and JQ is maybe JQ's camp is just not giving Mark Pope anything. Maybe it's a day-to-day thing. We're like, hey, feeling good today, maybe not tomorrow. And I think it's a small chance that's what's going on, just like I thought it was a small chance with Pat. But there's with the way basketball is now, especially like guys like Darren Peterson out there who are sitting out random games. Bill Self is confused about those too. These players' camps and parents and friends and family and stuff have almost more control than the coaches do. I'm saying the point I'm making is I'm not throwing out the idea that Mark Pope just doesn't have the answers people want.
I think you're exactly right. I think that's probably you just wish that a coach would come out and say, listen, he's got agents, he's got people, we love them, our doctors are here for him, they're going through just kind of a normal rehab process, but they're going to let us know when they're healthy. And we haven't been told that he's healthy. So I just have to wait until they tell us that he's healthy. I'd at least respect that.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Bill Self did that.
Yeah. So that's the situation one way or another. He was asked about Denzel Aberdeen returning to Florida to take on his former team. Says he's not really sure how he'll handle it, but just says that he's a competitor. The brighter the lights, the more that he likes it. And then most of that press conference was just talked about Florida's physicality and ability to rebound, which is obviously going to be an issue. They dominated Georgia last night. They dominated the Bulldogs on the glass, obviously.
Ruben Chinyelu had 20 by himself.
Somto Surreal is a big physical guy. They knocked him on his ass early in the game. It was kind of a dirty play. They went to review it. They called it a normal foul. I don't know how they did. A guy just came and ran up out of nowhere, and it was maybe like in the guise of boxing out, but it was clearly just to get him to knock down. But producer Matt's right. Chinyelu putting up 20 rebounds, 20 of 42. That's pretty impressive. So after you get rebounded in your most recent game, Corey Price, 15. Last time that Kentucky was out rebounded by 15 and won was when?
Oh, I guess a ranked team, right?
Yes.
The 98 title game against Utah, right?
Ooh, it was actually Saturday night against Tennessee. So,
well, I mean,
just last Saturday.
Gosh,
I mean,
Corey.
prior to that.
No free
I'm kidding. Yeah, that was crazy. So, has that happened against an unranked team? That Kentucky was out rebounded by 15 and won?
I did not look. I figured.
We're just roll the dice and say yes.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah. Odds are it's a yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's take our first commercial break. We'll get right into trivia. Only 2 guessers today, so that if you're in the YouTube comment section, you can guess away there. And we'll see if Corey Price can give away some salsaritas or a jersey or an old stinky sweatshirt or something like that.
Pit stains.
Yep. And also something crazy happened on yesterday's show. I wasn't a part of it, but have to bring it up, have to discuss it. Back after this. Kentucky Roll Call here on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. Corey Price in the house for Trivia Thursday. I am TJ Walker. Across the wall is producer Matt. Producer Matt Childress.
Not Chambliss.
How about Stephen Peak not knowing your last name?
So I think I said it on the show yesterday, but I didn't even realize he said that because, like, in the middle of us coming back, I was, changing stuff on the stream and getting that working, turning the music up and down. So when I'm usually doing stuff like that, I like zone out for like 5 seconds, so I didn't even hear what his intro was so I'm just sitting here as it goes on, and then Scoots texts me and goes, "I can't believe you let him call you Chambliss." I said, "He called me what?" And then he said it again later, and I was like, okay, I can't let it fly twice.
So I guess I didn't hear the first one. I didn't get to listen live for its entirety, but I did go back while I was at the office last night and listen to it. But I heard the second one, and even the second time he did it like 2 or 3 times in a 30-second span. It wasn't just the one other time that he did it. He did it and then corrected himself, did it again. Did he not know your last name?
He specified that he does.
Of course, that's what you're gonna say, though.
But he said he grew up with a friend or somebody, or he went to college.
Yeah, we all grew up with
named Matt Chambliss. And he said that now that I've said it once, you've called me on it, I know for a fact I've called you that multiple times. He actually, I'll give him credit, he felt so bad leaving the show yesterday because he's like, "Dude, we work together every day. We talk every single day. And I've called you the wrong name multiple times. I'm sorry." I was like, "Steven, I think that you care a lot more about it than I do, honestly."
Yeah, well, okay. Well, that's nice that he reached out after the fact. But I think he may have not known your last name.
There is a chance.
I think that's a possibility. That's okay. He's not the one that really has to say it all that much, so it could just kind of be something that you gloss over. We're going to see what you know, producer Matt, and everybody else, for a little Trivia Thursday here on Kentucky Roll Call on Big X Sports Radio. Take it away, Corey Price.
All right. Starting off with February 12th birthdays.
Oh, this is kind of where's
There we go.
I was getting the audio at the right volume.
All right. First up, Olympics like
A
it.
little Olympic sound.
I like that, yeah.
Former UK football player Bud Dupree.
Bud Dupree.
Matt remembers him fondly, I'm sure.
I actually do remember Bud
Having
Dupree.
old Bud Dupree and Zadarius Smith was pretty good on some pretty bad Kentucky teams.
That's correct, yes.
Was he there around the 12 to 14?
Yeah.
Okay.
13.
That's what I thought.
14-ish. So probably, not too far off from my age.
Did he play all 4 years?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Maybe left a year early. But, okay. I'll say 33, maybe 32. What are you thinking, producer
I'm thinking I'm around that number too. I'm going to go a little higher than you. I'm going to say he's 35.
No, I don't think he's older than me. Just for what it's worth.
You don't think so?
I don't know
Okay.
if that's going to help you out. I'm going to say 33. I would go a year above at most or a year below.
I'll go 34.
Okay.
TJ, he's 33 today.
So when the devil come try to get me, gonna praise the Lord.
Woo.
Next, former UK men's basketball player and former boyfriend of Erica Kirk, Josh Jorts Harrelson.
Wait.
Yes, he used to
Excuse
date
me?
Erica Kirk. Yes, he did.
That's a Corey Price fact right there if I've ever heard
It is
one.
pretty wild.
It's pretty wild.
I will say I have no idea who this is. So
You don't know who You don't know who Josh Harrelson is?
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
He graduated in 11.
I'd never heard of him called Jorts.
Oh.
He he wore jorts on his recruiting visit to UK.
Oh, okay.
Committed to UK from East St. Louis Community College or something. And I think that's right, some community college somewhere. And had a pretty nice career. Helped lead UK to a Final Four as a big man after Enes Kanter was ruled ineligible. Most people thought, oh no, UK is just going to be in big trouble at the 5. But he stepped up, had a great year, surprising year. Even beat Jared Solinger in the NCAA tournament Sweet 16, the Ohio State 1 seed in Newark, New Jersey.
So he's got to be around the same age as Bud Dupree, right? Maybe a little older?
Yeah, I would say that, like, your 35 guess there would be astute. I'll even let you have it if you want it.
I'll take 35.
All right. I'll take 36 just in case. I hope he's not 34. I'll take 36. I think it's 35, though.
You need Peak because he's 37 today.
37?
Yep.
Biscuits.
Sorry. Next, rapper Gucci Mane.
Ooh,
Oh, I have no idea.
Gucci Mane, he's not that old. I don't think he's really old at all. He's not like young, like early 30s younger. I think he's probably early to mid 40s. This is mostly just a guess, but I've listened to him since I was about middle school. That was like 2011.
Middle school 2011. My goodness.
Not everybody's a papaw like you, Corey Price, okay?
You
Get him, Corey, or get him,
you
Matt.
have to have kids first to
Get him,
to
get him,
be a
Mr.
papaw.
Chambers.
I'm going to say Gucci Mane is 46 years old.
I'll say he's 39.
Matt, 46.
Wow.
The devil come try to get me, gonna praise the Lord.
I didn't think he'd be that old.
It's
One
not,
of the greatest mixtape artists of all time.
it's not often that Matt gets one right. It's amazing.
Unless
Next.
they're exact distances, you know.
Right. Former NFL quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Robert Griffin III.
I feel like a lot of these are around the same time period.
Yeah.
He didn't. Gosh, I can't remember. Did he play all 4 years?
Maybe the left a year early.
I'll say I can't remember if his Heisman year was junior or senior.
I want to say maybe junior.
That would have been around 14.
Yeah, I'll say 34. Maybe your 35 guess is the right one here.
I'm gonna go 3 for 3. We're gonna see if we strike out or not. 35.
You need to pick again. 36.
Oh man, that's tough.
If we're one off, can we just get it? Because
No.
Peak would have picked one or the other.
No, sorry.
Well, you are the producer, Matt Chambers.
That's not how it works. Matt Childers. Last.
That's not my name either.
I'm aware. Last of the birthdays. Former MLB player Todd Frazier.
The Todd father.
Todd father.
I got no idea who this is.
Oh, come on.
I'll be honest.
He played for the Reds for a while.
When?
Not too long ago, doesn't seem.
I don't think he's been retired that long.
I didn't. Now, to preface, I didn't get into baseball until like
The old Todd
like
father.
2 years ago. So
Oh. Well,
I'll say that he is 39.
30.
But no, he's got to be older than that. I'll say 43. Yeah.
I go 44.
He's actually 40 today.
Oh, 39 guess was right there. Okay. Well, we're not really at the podium to say.
Next is February 12th events. First up, the superhero film Deadpool is released in U.S. theaters.
You brought this up on Tuesday.
I did.
What was the? Think back.
You're asking me. I
Think back.
I don't remember. I'm trying.
A
I'm trying
whole
to rack it.
2 days ago, Matt.
The YouTube comment section trying to help us out.
Oh man. It's been out for a while now. I'm gonna say it was like 20, like the 15 area, 2015 to 17. I don't
you
think I was in college yet.
You
I think it
think
was high
so?
school. Because they've released another Deadpool about once every 3 or 4 years.
All right. I'll say 2014.
I'll say 2015.
You need to pick again, 2016.
Oh my gosh.
At the
One off. This is crazy.
Well, you peek. At the 9th ESPY Awards, Kenyon Martin is named Men's College Basketball Player of the Year.
I'm pretty sure I know this. Well, I think within 2 years I'll be okay with it. I'm sure you probably don't, producer Matt, being a little younger.
I mean, I know who Kenyon Martin is. I don't know when he was Basketball Player of the Year.
I think it was 2001, 2000.
Whichever one you don't pick, I'll just pick.
Just want to make sure it wasn't like 99.
Man,
All right,
that's a-
2001.
You want me to go 2 or 0?
I think I want you to go 0.
Okay, I'm going to take 2000.
Corey's laughing at us.
TJ Walker, 2001.
All right. I was really scared there. I was second guessing and overthinking that big time. Glad to get one.
Never second guess yourself, TJ. Next. Hinton James becomes the first student to attend the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Good old Hinton James.
What year did UNC open up?
What year did Hinton James become the first student to attend UNC at Chapel Hill?
This does sound like a trick question, as if it was open before there were students there.
Yeah. What were they had virtual back in the 18th century?
I did look it up. The school opened. This doesn't make sense. The school, I think, it opened like 1789, which I kind of give a hint. But Hinton James attended after that. I'm not really sure why the school was open before students were there, but hey, I can't explain.
They just
that.
had a lot of teacher planning days before the students come in.
1792.
Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
No.
17. It can't be that long after. 1790.
So she's 1795.
What?
I'm not sure.
It was open 6 years?
I'm not sure what they did for 6 years. I didn't read that.
I mean, for something that was so old, we were pretty close.
Yeah. Not close enough.
Pretty close, though.
Not
pretty close,
Matt.
Matt.
Not close enough.
Pretty close. Don't be afraid to just hit the button.
At the 54th Grammy Awards, Adele wins 6 Grammys, including Song of the Year for Rolling in the Deep.
What Grammys were on this year?
This was like 2017, 2018. Potentially 2019, I guess.
I think that's a good, because I remember this. I just can't remember what Grammys were on.
I'll say 2018, but I think it's a year one higher, one lower. Not sure which one.
I'll go 2019.
And actually 2012, actually.
2012?
Was that long?
Rolling in the Deep.
I'm thinking of Shallow. That's not that song. Yep,
No.
that's a mistake.
Last of the events, a groundbreaking ceremony is held for the future Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.
My bad on that one. I should have thought that one through, producer Matt. I steered you astray. All right, when they made the Lincoln...
It's the groundbreaking for the future Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C.
Was the Lincoln Memorial open before they allowed attendees? Like UNC?
I think about 6 years, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So post 1865. Feel confident about that.
That's a decent guess, yeah. Pretty decent.
I wonder, I don't know. I don't know. I've been there. Probably should know. Don't. Should, but I can't. I'll say 1881.
1894.
Or on the start of the First World War, actually, 1914.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Took a while for them to figure out how they felt about Honest Abe, I suppose.
That's right. So Saturday we're playing Florida, Tuesday we're playing Georgia, and based on this background music, we have the Winter Olympics. So
that is true.
A little bit of all that.
Watched more Winter Olympics last night than maybe I ever have.
Gold Zone is awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time.
To the nearest
I've got some takes. Hour 2, I'll get to them.
Oh. To the nearest mile, what is the straight line distance from Rupp Arena to the Stephen C. O'Connell Center in Gainesville?
Peake has talked about this drive a lot. A lot. He's not happy about it.
It's.
I will say, every once in a while, let's throw in a flight for the folks. And then on the flip side, if you really didn't want to drive that much, then I'm just going to buy my own flight, and I'll let work compensate it up to a point,
Right.
Like, all right, then give me $50 for the gas you were going to pay for a car ride. Let me put it towards my plane ticket. But I felt bad. He really, and I don't blame him. That's a long way to go, watch a game, and then turn right back around and head on back home.
I could tell on the show yesterday he did not want to drive because he asked Jack like 4 times that they were flying while he was on.
I was excited to listen to that interview because it's always great to hear Jack talk recruiting and the current team and stuff like that. And, he was just like, it is in Peake's.
Peake was so mad he called Matt Chambliss.
I think that's maybe part of it. Yeah. Part of it. Okay. So I think it's like an 11-hour drive because they kept saying that. Got to bring out the old calculator.
Now remember, it's this straight line distance.
I know. Take it easy. All right, I will say 5:01. I'll say 5:02 for Kentucky's sake. How about that?
5:02, okay.
Well, that's for Louisville's sake, but
where is Louisville?
5:02 isn't a full statewide
Where is
area
Louisville?
code.
Louisville's where?
Well, Kentucky 502 is not Kentucky area code. It's a Louisville area code.
It's an area code in Kentucky, and there's nobody in Southern Indiana that has it.
I'm just saying. Just making a point.
I'm
going to say.
Don't think it is, but
610.
Ooh, Matt, 593. Play it.
When the devil come trying to get me, gonna praise the Lord.
Just nice to see you come around.
Yeah. To the nearest mile, what is the straight line distance from Rupp Arena to Stegman Coliseum in Athens, Georgia? It's not Greece.
Is Athens past Atlanta, or
is a hike to get there? But
Athens
there's no
is
easy
like
way.
is like an hour east of Atlanta.
Okay.
There's no easy way to get there, but if you,
gotta
did
go
the
to
old
Atlanta
crow,
and
if you
then
did the
go
old
east.
as the crow flows,
Yeah.
was Trevor Kelsey? Yes. I will say it was 590. What was it?
593 for
593. $482.
I'm going to shoot a little lower than you. I'm going to say 410.
Yeah, guys, 291 actually.
Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
So it's twice as long.
I've just had some very long drives to Athens before. Usually because of traffic. But I just think I have a mental block on that distance.
Getting through Atlanta
All right.
is rough.
Yikes.
All right, so of the original SEC schools that are still in the conference, Florida is one of two of those schools in which UK has never had a player score at least 40 points against them in a single game. What's the other school?
One more time. I'm sorry.
So of the original schools in the SEC that are still in the conference, so
okay, not Swanee and Tulane.
In Georgia Tech, yes. Florida is one of two of the schools in which UK has never had a player score at least 40 points against them in a single game. What is the other school?
I have no idea.
Can you just guess a SEC school?
I'll guess Arkansas.
They're not one of the original schools in the SEC. They joined in '92.
Just think geographically, like southeast as southeast gets, and those are the best for the original schools. Producer Matt.
Vanderbilt.
All right.
Georgia.
It is Mississippi State, actually. Jim Andrews scored.
That was my second guess.
Scored 34 against them.
Doesn't get you anything.
The most any player for UK has ever scored against the Bulldogs.
Stephen Peake would have guessed it.
Okay, how about that?
When is the last time that UK defeated an AP poll top 15 Florida team in Gainesville? Florida's 4-14 right now.
All right, one more time.
When is the last time that UK defeated an AP poll top 15 Florida team in Gainesville?
Did Kentucky do it the year they won the national championship?
They certainly did win in Gainesville. I don't know if Florida was all that in a bag of chips then.
What year was that? 15, 14?
Oh,
That was
15,
12.
come on.
Oh, was it later than that?
That is painful, man. It's saying 15.
12? Because I was hanging out.
Bring up 15.
They won
cruel.
15 in Gainesville
Cruel, Matt.
in Gainesville as well that year too.
Bring up 15 is so cruel.
I think that was a solid Florida team. 2020 it could be. That was a good Florida team. Kentucky won in Gainesville then, and then the world shut down. I'll say 2020.
I'm going to stick with my guess. I'm going to say 2012.
How about March 8th, 2003?
Wow.
They beat number 3 Florida. Yep. When was the last time that UK lost to Georgia?
I think that was the game that Fitch and Hawkins were that was the cover of the Courier. They were pumping their
Fitch and Bogans.
Bogans,
Yep.
yes. You're right.
When was the last time that UK lost to Georgia at Rupp Arena?
Billy Gillespie did on senior night in 08. That was embarrassing. Did they lose to Georgia, the Severe Wheeler senior night? What year was that? 2022? Was it more recent than that?
This one I have no idea on.
Guess I'll just say 08 because it's the only one that I can think of off the top of my head. But I want to say maybe there was one more between that.
I'm gonna. This is just a shot in the dark. I'm gonna pick something more recent.
If you're gonna say more recent, maybe say like 2022 or 2023.
That's fine. 2023.
So close, TJ. March 4th, 2009. It was the 09.
Oh, I meant 9.
You meant 9.
I did. I really did. I really, really did. I promise. It was the last year of the Billy Gillespie era.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, I really did.
09, yeah.
For the record, I did, all right?
Well, it was 08-09 season.
It was 08-09 season. I've truly, to my core, meant 09. I should have caught that.
Yeah,
I should have caught that.
As of today, what is the current combined age of Kentavious Caldwell-Pope,
Okay.
Anthony Edwards, and Dominique Wilkins, all Georgia basketball alum?
Dominique Wilkins is going to be the hard one for me. I mean, he's
super old.
Oh, man.
All right. Oh, boy.
Hey, discover your next
We
obsession.
didn't get an ad for like 25 minutes of that, and now we get one.
All right. I also have no idea really on when Wilkins was playing. How about a hint, Corey?
You guys, he played in the early to mid 80s for
All right, that's all.
Georgia.
That's enough. That's all. Kind of where
You're welcome, by the way.
Kind of where I was leaning.
Yeah, welcome.
It's like 20 years before Matt was even born.
Yeah.
Rule number 76: no excuses. Play like a champion.
I'm going to say 120.
120.
I put that Donnie Wilkins is around 60, high 60s, 70s.
I'll say 111.
Oh, Matt, 122. 122. The breakdown: Anthony Edwards is 24. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope is 32. And Dominique Wilkins is 66.
I had his age right. I had 66. I had 25 for Anthony Edwards and 29 for Pope.
As of today, was the current combined age of Bradley Beal, Al Horford, and Jason Williams, all Florida basketball alum.
Ooh. Jason Williams got to be around.
White chocolate, I think is what he was called, I believe, maybe.
It was. Early to mid 40s. You said Al Horford is the other one?
Bradley Beal, Al Horford, and Jason Williams, yes.
Al Horford's one of the oldest players in the NFL, NBA right now.
He was out of Florida in 07.
He's in his low 40s, I'm pretty sure. It's either low 40s or really high 30s. What was the other one?
Bradley Beal.
I'm going to say 118.
Hold on. A little slower.
It's all right, TJ.
He's just listening to the music at this point.
So focused.
I'm trying to do it in my head. All right. 130. Well, no. Hold on.
That'd be really high.
Hold on. 122.
121.
Oh, bummer.
I'm playing it.
Yeah, play it.
Get me gone crazy.
That's one.
I had my Wilkins age in my little notes, and I had not erased it fully, so I was about 10 off.
So the breakdown: Bradley Beal is 32.
Hey.
Al Horford is 39.
Ooh.
And Jason Williams is 50.
Hey.
Oh my gosh, he is older than I thought he was.
Do we have time for more, or do we need to take a break?
You probably need to take a break.
All right.
Oh, Corey's not going to be
about
happy
40
with
seconds.
Me. All right.
That's all right.
All right.
We can finish after the break.
All right.
Are we just going straight to break?
I thought that was a good break.
Oh, sorry.
I thought that you were going to play the music loud because I know it's probably time for the ad read.
Back to Kentucky Roll Call.
I think we ain't doing yet. You personally? I think we ain't doing yet.
With Walker and Peak.
Welcome back. Hour number 2, Kentucky Roll Call here on Big X Sports Radio, 96.1 FM, 1450 AM. Game Day Men's Health text line 502-414-1450. Gameday Men's Health, redefining men's wellness, no shortcuts, just results. Testosterone, peptides, weight loss, sexual performance therapy. Visit GameDayMensHealth.com to finding a new era in men's health. Do we have Peak connected?
We do.
Hello,
DJ.
Hello, Steven. How are you?
Are you in the studio still?
Yes. Per my text message.
Oh, I did not see that one. I thought that you were still. I thought you were heading out at the end of the first hour. How did trivia go?
We're still doing it.
We've got 3 questions left.
Ongoing.
Oh,
Would you like to do a couple?
Love it.
All right, bring him down a little bit. He's a little hot.
Well, his wife thinks that too, but it's fine.
Nah, yeah. He's good looking fella, Corey. Not sure what to do with that. Okay, take it away, Corey Price.
All right. How many combined points and rebounds did Oscar Tshiebwe have in his 2 career games played against Georgia at Rupp Arena?
They were good games.
Yes, hence why I asked this question. You all are
35.
Oh, that's
No.
That's a good guess.
No.
That's
You
a
might
good
want to
guess.
double that.
That might be for one game.
I'll
Let's
say
see.
79.
I'll say 84.
Do you want to change yours, Matt, or
gosh,
stick with 35?
How many times did they play?
Oscar in his 2 career games played against Georgia at Rupp combined points and rebounds.
Oh, okay. I did not hear you say points and rebounds. Like 85 rebounds. Okay.
No, points and rebounds.
I'm going to say 72.
How about 107?
Wow, I gave a huge guess.
His 2 games against Georgia at Rupp, he had 66 points and 41 rebounds.
Wow.
Unreal.
Jeez.
That's why he was National Player of the Year. Last year's Florida team is one of 5 eventual national champions the UK has defeated since 1990. Can you name the other 4?
Kansas.
What year?
What was that? Like 22?
22, yep. That's one of the 4. 3 left.
Didn't beat Florida in 06 or 07. I think got swept both those years.
I think we lost 7 or 8 in a row to Florida.
Yeah, that wasn't good. No. Did they get Florida in like 01? Or I guess Florida didn't win that year. Michigan State won.
When did Florida? Oh, yeah, Michigan State beat Florida. What, in 2000?
Yeah. Yeah, there may have, did Kentucky since 01?
Since 1990.
Did Kentucky beat Michigan State that year?
Did they?
We gotta get moving.
Did you already say Florida last year?
If we say it,
Yes, Florida last year. Michigan State in 2000, yes.
Okay.
So 2 left. I think you're missing one that's fairly recent. And one that's much older.
Fairly recent. Oh, UNC in 17.
Yep. And there's one that's pretty old. Not 1990 old, but pretty close to 1990.
Okay. Like
Yeah,
UNC in like 93 or 94.
94 is right, but who won it? In
Arkansas.
There you go, TJ Walker. Sports talker.
All right.
Last one, Winter Olympics. How many times has the U.S. hosted the Winter Olympics?
Oh, I don't know. It's a good question.
That's why, hey. Only
Any guesses, fellas?
Hosted just the Winter Olympics?
Yes.
How can we get a hint as to how long the Winter Olympics has been going on?
I believe this year's the 25th or 24th.
Yeah, I think it's since like 1924 or something.
I'm pretty sure this is the 24th or 25th.
They've been doing it for a good while. say it's been in America
I'd say
4 times.
5 times.
Okay. I said 4. Peak says 5.
I was going to say 3.
TJ, 4 times.
So when the devil come try to get me, gonna praise the Lord.
Most recently in 2002 at Salt Lake City.
All right. Good deal. Would you like some dozen trivia?
I would love some dozen trivia, TJ Walker.
Okay, we got NFL, NBA, Olympics, books, chain restaurants, television, movies, and music.
Chain restaurants.
To compete with McDonald's Quarter Pounder, this sit-down chain replaced its old-timer burger with Big QB Burger in 2025.
Big QB.
Maybe Big O. Yeah, it's Big QB. I'm not familiar with this. I don't really like this one.
And it's called the Old Timer Burger.
The Old-timer Burger.
My goodness.
It's a tough way to start. You wouldn't think of this place for burgers either. It's more like kind of quick, or not quick, but like Tex-Mex. But like it is very much like a 90s, 2000s chain restaurant, but more of like the Tex-Mex variety-ish.
The way he's describing this sounds like tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed,
to me.
yeah.
That's but it's not tumbleweed. But I just wouldn't think of this place with burgers. But maybe I'm crazy for thinking that.
I'm stumped.
Any guesses?
I said tumbleweed. What burger? I don't know. Not
Chili's.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Chili's.
All right. Well, that was.
You have Chili's as Tex-Mex?
Kind of like they like their little fajitas and stuff like that.
That's a misleading response. I'm sorry, TJ. Chili's is not Tex-Mex.
I wanted to kind of point him more away from like an Applebee's that you think of potentially for a burger than Chili's for a burger. Old-timer burger, you wouldn't think of Chili's. Unless you go there a bunch, which I don't. So maybe
I don't think of
maybe
burgers
that's
when I don't think of Chili's.
All right. Well, I was trying to help you. It probably wasn't the perfect
That's
comparison
right.
one way or another. We'll keep going. We'll do a few more.
Yeah. You say movies?
Yeah, movies is on there. Since 1996, this actress has played Sidney Prescott, the lead protagonist of the original Scream film and multiple sequels.
Nev Campbell.
Yeah, we were just talking it.
We were. What are the odds?
Get out of our head. Corey asked if I was excited for Scream 7, which I didn't know was coming out or had forgotten about. And I said no, because I'm not. And he said, what? You don't like Scream? And I said, well, no, not really. And he couldn't believe it. I kind of felt like I hurt his feelings, honestly.
That's fine. I love Scream. Music.
Okay. Nice bounce back one there. If you don't want to see me dancing with somebody, you want to believe that anything could stop me, are lyrics from this 2020 Dua Lipa song.
Oh, boy. I don't
If you
even
don't
know.
want to see me dancing with somebody, if you want to believe that anything could stop me.
I don't even know where to begin to guess.
Producer Matt, he's young.
Matt,
I know the song, but I couldn't tell you the name of it. I don't listen to enough Dua Lipa. I'm sorry.
These young kid songs,
Don't start now.
I'm too old for these.
Don't start
young
now.
kid songs. Dang it. NBA.
Okay, now you're just playing for pride.
Yep.
From 2020 to 2022, this Hall of Famer was the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets. And he was not in the office world as a regional salesman in Nashua, maybe, or not exactly sure exactly where he was, but his name gets thrown around in the office every now and then.
Jason Kidd. Oh.
Good guess. Steve Nash.
My goodness.
Steve Nash. All right, you want to limp on out of here with one more?
Sure, why not?
NFL, Olympics, books, television?
Let's go with NFL.
All right, wow, staying away from the Olympics.
And books.
Antonio Gibson rushed for over 1,800 yards and scored 21 touchdowns in his first 2 NFL seasons with this NFC franchise from 2020 to 2021.
Antonio Gibson?
Antonio Gibson.
My goodness.
I'll give you a hint. NFC East.
Oh, boy, I don't think it's the Commanders.
Yeah, that's correct. All right. All right, you needed that. And I'm glad you got it.
My goodness, that was...
There you go.
That was painful. Thank you.
All right, Corey. Well, thank you for your trivia.
No, thank you.
Great stuff as always.
Thank you.
cheer on the Cats to a victory tomorrow.
Thank you, Matt Chambliss, for being the glue for the show.
I always love being here with Peeve and Steek, TJ Waller, and Corey Christ. I love it.
Did you say Christ?
Oh, no, I think Steven's joking. All right, Corey, be well. See ya.
See you
What's
guys.
up, Peak? What's new?
Not a whole lot. Just up here at KS office, got done with the Mark Pope press conference as his team gets ready to take on the Florida Gators, TJ. It's maybe the biggest game of the season. A lot on the line for this one. And he was asked about Jaden Quentin's coming back. Do you want to guess what he said?
Yes. Well, we actually talked about it briefly in hour one, but you were there. You got to hear it in real time. We were just kind of reading quotes about it. So we already talked about what he said or summarized it. So you just take it away.
Well, yeah, he's obviously. I mean, he even made a joke that was like, if we didn't have this to talk about every week, what would we talk about? So no movement on there. Really no update even on Cam Williams, although some of the talk around the program is that he could possibly return, obviously. But I think like we're all kind of reading between the lines here on the JQ situation. So I guess Ben Roberts even joked with him that, hey, we didn't ask you about it last week, so we saved it for this week. So no JQ, which I think that it just stinks because he could really help this team against this Florida front court. Mark Pope talked about it briefly, just about this is a matchup that Malachi hasn't had yet. This is a unique matchup for him. And what Florida is able to do on the glass, especially on the offensive glass, and get second chance points, it is a little concerning. I mean, Kentucky was out rebounded by 15 against Tennessee. Is that right?
Yes. 15.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and it's only this matchup might be even tougher for them as far as getting the boards. So it's a tough matchup. But you know what, TJ? Like the last couple Saturdays, I've gone to Kentucky games not expecting them to win, and they've surprised me. Can they do it one more time? I don't know. We'll see. And if they do, I mean, you're right there. You have a real opportunity to win a championship this year. And it's not the one that, you hang a banner for. But we haven't won the SEC in a while. It would be nice. And in a while, I mean, we haven't won it the last 5 seasons, which for Kentucky, that feels like a long time. So it's a huge game. And also, TJ, found out that we will be flying. So we're making the rare plane trip to an SEC game. Excited about that. That's going to save me 22 hours of my life in a car.
Hopping on the KS plane.
KS plane will get us to, I think we're going to Jacksonville and then getting in KS car and going the rest of the way to Gainesville. We have a 5:30 flight on Sunday, so we're barely going to be in the Sunshine State, in and out, hopefully with the win. We briefly talked about the game yesterday, TJ, but how do you feel about that matchup down low, like as Pope was talking about with Malachi and some of the guys in the Florida front court?
Yes, I'm very worried about that. Been worried about that for a while. I've been talking about that one for a while, especially without JQ. Malachi and Brandon can get pushed around a little bit. Malachi, once he kind of gets the feel of the game, he settles in a little bit better. But even against, I think what producer Matt said yesterday was pretty spot on. Against athletic bigs that can move their feet pretty well, even then, he's still kind of a step behind. And it makes sense, but he's getting a lot better, and his potential's through the roof. He's just not there right now. And this is the best front court in college basketball, I would say. Certainly in the conversation, Michigan's right up there as well. Arizona's really good. But this one's deep. They throw a ton of bodies at you. They get away with a lot of a very physical style of play, similar to this is what we always say when we talk about a physical style of play like this, so just allow me to use this, although it's very, very different once you break it down. But Rick Pitino, hey, they can't call a foul every possession, so we're just going to hack and we're going to slap and we're going to get away with so much, and they can't call it every single time. That's how this Florida front court plays, and Todd Golden's smart to do that. where, Pete, can you mute yourself when it just – thanks. Appreciate it. Todd Golden's smart. He knows how the officials are going to call games and how they're looking at things. So he will tell them just play physical. Yeah, you'll get a foul call here and there, but they're not going to call it every time. It'll be a net advantage for us if we play a physical style of basketball. So we're probably not going to like the whistle tomorrow, but that's normally the case down in Gainesville for any team, but especially Kentucky. And secondly, Florida does get away with a bunch, and it's a smart way to play when you have that much size. It's a really tough assignment, and they have settled in pretty well. Their guards are playing. I've always been a huge Boogie fan. I'm not as big on Xavier Lee, but he's been good, and he's knocking down more shots as of late. He's a good passer. He gets everybody else involved. This is just a really tough game where even if you're in it late, you've got to be perfect on the glass. That's going to be tough to do on every single possession. If you're in it late, you're going to have to be able to score inside against a tough interior and a team that blocks a lot of shots or can block a lot of shots. So that's going to be tough. I actually think Kentucky's guards should have a decent day against Florida's guards, but it is the biggest disadvantage on the front court that we've seen this season for UK, and we've seen some disadvantages on the front court. I think you can make a case this is just Kentucky's toughest game of the year. I think this Florida team, you can make a strong case. The way they're playing right now is better than Gonzaga. This team wouldn't lose on the road to Portland. I think this team's better than Michigan State. Those are two teams that thrashed Kentucky. I think this team's better than UNC, and I think they're the best team in the SEC. So any SEC loss that Kentucky has, I think this Florida team's better than they are. They are minus 800 to win the SEC. So Vegas it's a foregone conclusion that Florida's going to roll. And actually, if you want to have your money tied up for another month, it's a smart bet. They're going to win the SEC. They have a pretty favorable schedule. I think they get the Mississippi schools and a couple favorable home games. Even their tough ones, I think, are at home with maybe one exception. So they're going to win the SEC. It should be even worse than minus 800. Of course, you probably don't want to have your money tied up for that long for a minus 800 bet, but they're a really, really good team. This is Kentucky's toughest game of the season. Kentucky's playing better, but it almost does feel similar to the Vandy setup where Kentucky was playing better. They had a 5-game winning streak going into that Vandy game, but it was the first time in a little bit that they had played a team with a pulse. That's not the case this time because in this winning streak, this 3-game winning streak for UK, they have beaten Arkansas and Tennessee, 2 ranked teams, and one of those games was on the road. However, this is a whole different animal. This is a legitimate national title contender, and I think Arkansas may be. They're a Final Four contender, if nothing else. I don't think Tennessee's a Final Four contender because it's Tennessee, of course. But Florida could cut down the nets. They could repeat. This front court is legitimate. So it's the toughest game of the season. It's a tall task for UK, but it'll at least let us know where we're at, Stephen Peak. All right. Let's go to the text line here, 502-4 Peak. I don't know if you knew you were muted or not muted. I don't have the video, but I don't know if you were chatting or not.
Yeah, I was. Forgot I was muted. The joys of being remote. Yeah, this Florida team, very talented. You saw what they did last night. I was obviously pulling for Georgia so that this game on Saturday would be for first place in the SEC. I guess it technically is. I mean, like if you win, you're tied for first.
Yeah, it is. It is for first place.
Yeah, you can work out the tiebreaker stuff later on. I would love, TJ, if we can get to that Kentucky-Florida game at the last game of the season. When is it? March 7th, I think. You get to that game with the SEC championship on the line. That'd be so much fun. Of course, the atmosphere would just be off the charts. It probably will be anyway. But Georgia didn't put up much of a fight last night. What has happened with them? Because they were rolling there for a minute. We got to SEC play. Of course, they beat Auburn. Then they lost at Florida, beat South Carolina, lost to Ole Miss, and then it started to fall apart from that point. But they were ranked what did they get up to? It's in the teens? I mean,
yeah, something like that.
So now I bring that up because now you have that game coming up after Florida for Kentucky. And at one point I thought, well, that will be a really tough game. It still might be with they play physical, some go surreal, they shoot threes, all that. But now that game looks more winnable. And we've talked about this, TJ. I mean, like this Florida game, I guess what I'm getting at is you could lose this game and it doesn't hurt you at all. And you're still right there in the running to compete with Florida to win the SEC. Bartorvik, I mentioned this yesterday, has Florida winning out and getting a 2 seed. So earlier I said, like, yeah, you're playing all these tough teams remaining on your schedule, but is anybody really even in the top 4 seeds? Well, Florida might be one of those. So obviously the toughest game left on your schedule. Outside of that, I'm including Vanderbilt at home in this as well. Every other game is winnable. The other, 5 games, very much winnable. In fact, I expect Kentucky to win all of them. And if you do that, and Florida slips up just one time, that March 7th game could decide the SEC regular season title, and that'd be so much fun.
That'd be great. It'd be a good position to get to. I think Florida, I think their schedule's a bit more favorable, and if they win tomorrow, then you're looking at what? The Gators having a 2-game lead on you at that point with 6 to go. So if Florida wins tomorrow, I don't think Kentucky's probably going to win the SEC, but that's all right. You never know. And I do agree.
I mean, they could slip up. They go at Ole Miss, at Texas. I know those should be 2 winnable games, but they do have to play Arkansas.
Yeah, Ole Miss is really bad. Florida will beat them easily. At Texas could be challenging. Arkansas at home, I just think Florida's probably going to win out at home, but you never know. And then at Rupp, obviously, but Arkansas, Mississippi State, they'll win those. It's just a favorable schedule for them.
Yeah, it really is. South Carolina is the other team they have left as well. So very favorable, like you said.
But you never know. You got to play the games, and one injury can change things. And you never wish for that to happen, and I'm not wishing for that to happen. But it is realistic, and we know all too well about injuries at Kentucky. I do like the guard matchup. Like Denzel Aberdeen, I don't doubt that he's going to go out there playing motivated and hungry to show what he's got. Otega Owe, he's been so consistent. I do worry a little bit, like, he's maybe due for a bad game. Maybe he's just due for an off night. But he has been so steady that you can't really plan on that necessarily. And then Colin Chandler, even if he's not shooting well, you at least trust him to be able to just make some smart basketball plays throughout this game. So I do like Kentucky's guards matchup in this one. I probably would take Kentucky's backcourt overall over Florida's, even though I am a big Boogie Flan guy, but and Lee has been playing much better. But Kentucky's guards should be able to do some good things. It's just I worry they're going to have to be good rebounders, and that's just such a tough assignment going against this Florida front court.
Yeah, did you see what Boogie Flan is shooting from 3 in SEC play?
Was it like 4 of 34?
Yeah, so bad. He's shooting like 12%. I think he's shooting less than 12% from 3.
Yeah, maybe they just have a terrible shooting night. That's not impossible. And Kentucky can keep this game close. And within the final 4 minutes, this UK team has found a little something as this season has progressed.
Yeah, and maybe this is the game, TJ. Kentucky hasn't really been shooting very well from 3 recently. The Oklahoma game, what did they do that game from downtown? Let's see. They actually that game where they did shoot really well. They were shooting 12 of 26. So they're kind of off and on. Against Tennessee, they didn't hit a bunch of threes. I think they had 2 in the first half. They were like 2 of 9, I think. And then the second half, they ended up hitting, I guess, 3 of 10. So they finished 5 of 19. So maybe this is the game where they're back on and, pull off the upset. I've also I'm training myself to not overreact to first half performances now. So we'll see if I can, we'll see if that's the case on Saturday, because this team is just, they're so hard to predict. I mean, they could win this game. They could lose by 30. That's just how this season has gone. And it really does come down to just guys making shots. I mean, it's weird looking at their schedule and seeing a run of 5 straight wins and then an 80-55 loss, and then 3 more wins. It's just like, what the hell? Like, what's zero consistency? And some of that's going to be from guys going in and out of the lineup. This is another game where I do wish you had Cam Williams. But I do like the way that Kentucky's guards are playing. Otega Owe is on another level right now. Colin Chandler's on another level right now. So, like, you could argue Kentucky has the SEC Player of the Year on their roster. They have one of the best shooters in the SEC on their roster. They have one of the best big freshmen on their roster. I see a lot of people saying that there's just no way Kentucky can win, and maybe I'm just buying in after a couple big Saturdays, but I don't know. I don't think this is an impossible task. I think it's going to be the toughest SEC game of the season, but I don't think this is impossible that Kentucky goes into Gainesville and comes out with a win. They haven't lost there since 2018. We've gotten kind of used to going there and pulling out wins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I found that shocking too. I looked up that stat last night, and that can't be right. And I went through the schedules again. And I was like, oh yeah, they haven't lost in Gainesville since 2018. Considering how many decent Florida teams you've played there and the ways you had to win. So yeah, this is. I do think this is a winnable game. I don't know that they will win, but I'm going into this a lot more optimistic actually than I've gone into the last 2 Saturdays.
I like the attitude, Stephen Peak, and I hope you're right. And for what it's worth, I have shown my hiney time and time again with predicting UK to not win some games, sometimes maybe not being close, and they've come out and they've won. I'm not feeling optimistic, and again, it's not I think I said this earlier in the week, or maybe it was last week, or maybe it was in the post-game show on Saturday, but they've built up some goodwill. So if you lose this game, I'm not going to be angry now if if it's not competitive for 40 minutes and you just lose another game by 30-plus points. I won't be happy about that, but this isn't going to really change the big picture for me. This is a tough spot. Florida's playing just about as well as anybody in the country right now, and they're good. And this is a tough assignment for Kentucky's front court. So this isn't one that you have to have for me for UK. Now, that's also not to say, Pete, that if there's going to be any sort of moral victory either. If they lose this game by 3 and they miss 15 free throws, that's going to be frustrating. If they lose this game by 4 but they were winning with 2 minutes to go and turn the ball over late, I'm going to be frustrated by that. So you're right. They can be in this game. As I've said, I think their guards have an advantage in this one. It's just with the way Florida plays isn't necessarily great for Kentucky's style. They can live in the half court, and then coming off a game where UK is out-rebounded by 15, this is a tougher assignment for the front court. Now, that's going to be a point of emphasis, obviously, for any coaching staff. They're going, hey, guys, you got to go rebound. Guards, you got to go rebound. They're going to kill you on the glass. Malachi, you have no idea what you're in for. It's going to be the worst thing you've ever seen. They're going to try to get them mentally and physically prepared, and it'll be a point of emphasis. But one, I'm not so sure how much that's going to matter. It'll matter a little bit. It'll make them play a little harder. Maybe the fact they're coming off a rebounding performance where they were out-rebounded by 15, that was a blessing in disguise because it'll wake them up for this week, and it'll be more respectable on the glass. It probably will be. That's probably actually true the more that I'm saying that out loud. But when you have to focus so hard on rebounding, it does inherently take away a little bit from everywhere else in the basketball game for you. And that's not necessarily meaning that you can't overcome that. But if you're mentally thinking, okay, well, I've got to go rebound, you may be a little slower to close out. You may be a little slower with your footwork in terms of how you're defending, because just in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I have to go rebound this basketball. Even on the offensive side, you may say, all right, well, I know we're going to give up some rebounds defensively, but if we can get our fair share of second chance points, maybe it won't be that huge of a deal. When you just have to hammer home something so hard, it can impact you in some other areas. So I'm worried. You can hear it in my voice. I'm worried about this front court matchup, but I liked your positivity, Peak, and hopefully the Cats have something for the Gators.
Yeah, why not just go into a positive? I've gone into or you know what, TJ? As I'm working this out in real time. Should I change my mindset because the last couple Saturdays, I should say, I went in very negative, and they surprised me. So, and that's like if I had to pick who was going to win this game, I'm picking Florida. I just don't think it's going to be the insane upset that I think some other fans are suggesting that it would be.
Okay.
So I still don't think that Kentucky wins, but I absolutely would not be shocked if they do. And what would this do for just Kentucky's resume overall if you're trying to climb into like a 4 or a 5 seed? I don't know that they can get to a 4, but if you're just trying to get off that like 6, 7 seed line, let me ask you this, TJ. Would you rather be a 4 or a 5 seed, knowing that you're most likely going to be playing the 1 seed if you make it to the Sweet 16? Or would you rather be a 6 seed, having to play a 3 in the second round, but you may get a 2 or you might get possibly a 7 or a 10? Upsets are more likely in that 7 versus 2, 10 versus 2 matchup. Would you just rather have the best seed that you can get? I mean, obviously that you're assuming the regular season just goes however it goes. Like we're not saying that we'd rather. Obviously, you'd rather Kentucky win out.
No, I love the bracket conversations. We're due for a break, so let's tease that because I actually think this year it's interesting. Where every other year, I know you and I disagree on seed talk for what it's worth. Every other year, I'm usually, hey, just get the highest seed you can. There's a reason why it's a higher seed. It usually works out. If there's ever a year where that may not apply, it would be this year, and we'll explain why that is. In the meantime, I'll explain to you why you need salsaritas in your life for any big event, catering, tailgate, whatever it may be, graduation parties here in a few months, but it'll be here before you know it. Keep salsaritas in mind. 3 locations in the Louisville area, Middletown, St. Matthews, and they're out in Bullitt County, right off I-65. You can order it, have it waiting for you at the store. If you're on the go, it can be waiting for you. You can grab it, go take it back to your car. We love that Salsaritas app, and every time you order on it, you get rewards, free this, free that, $2 off. They're always giving away something at Salsaritas. So download that app, hit up their locations today. Keep them in mind for dinner if you've already had lunch today. It's Taco Thursday. This is Kentucky Roll Call. One final segment coming up next on Big X Sports Radio. back. One final segment, Kentucky Roll Call here on Big X Sports Radio. And starting today, the Roll Call Picks of the Week presented by Chad Hennessy with InsureMax, proudly serving the Louisville area for over 25 years. Call Chad Hennessy at InsureMax today at 502-479-4085. The Roll Call Picks of the Week. Do we want to do that? Maybe we save that for tomorrow. But I don't know if Peke's going to be here tomorrow. We'll have to figure that out. We'll who knows if I'm even going to be here tomorrow if I'm not too sick.
I'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow. Since our flight is not until late tomorrow night.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we'll figure out exactly what we want to do for the roll call picks of the week. Admittedly, I may have thought that it was the roll call pick of the day, and we were supposed to do that every day. But it does say roll call picks of the week, which makes me think that it's a weekly sort of shindig. So I'll get to the bottom of it. We'll figure that out, but we can always do it tomorrow. But go ahead and call Chad Hennessy all the same at InsureMax, 502-479-4085. And then I may have a pick or two for you tonight that I like. I did like your question about bracketology and seeds and that sort of stuff. Would it be better to be a 6 seed just so you could take on the 3 line and get a 2, and you just are avoiding the 1s longer? Maybe the 1s trip up, maybe they don't, but better they trip up against somebody else than you have to play them, so avoid them as long as you can. The 1 seeds projected right now are Arizona, Michigan, UConn, and Duke. And one thing before I answer the question, I think it's kind of crazy, Stephen Peak. Our 1 seeds, I'm pretty sure, are locked in. We're here before Valentine's Day. And if our 1 seeds aren't one of those 4 teams, I'd be pretty surprised. And really, I only think maybe Houston would be a team that could jump up and take it from somebody else. But I don't envision UConn losing the Big East or tripping up enough to not be a 1 seed. Duke, the ACC is not great, and they're really, really good. They're going to be a 1 seed. Michigan in the Big Ten, they were down last night, and they came back. And then Arizona is just a wagon, even with their 1 loss. But I think the 1 seeds are locked in. That's somewhat unique at this juncture. And then Houston, they could be a player to maybe threaten that. But I do think there's a drop-off from the 2s. And right now, Joe Lunardi, who is not the best at this sort of stuff, he's got Houston, Illinois, Nebraska, and Iowa State as the 2s. The 3s are Florida, Michigan State, Purdue, and Kansas. You could make a case right now that the 3s are better than the 2s that I just rattled off right there.
You could.
But, so normally you take the highest seed. However, to avoid the 1s this year, if there were ever a year to do it, that being said, I would still rather take the 4 or the 5. All that just to say I still would rather take the 4 or the 5. Yes, those 1 seeds are going to be really, really tough, but is there really that huge of a difference seeing them in the Sweet 16 versus the Elite 8? Depending on your coaches and their coaching style, it may be more advantageous to have a week to prepare for them. On the flip side, there are some scenarios where maybe just a few days would be better. I'm not going to get into that analysis here with these 1 seeds. But I'd rather play the 4 seeds in the second round than the 3 seeds. I think the 3 seeds are better. I'd rather play a 13 or a 12 than a pesky 11 that's already won a game earlier that week in the play-in game, and they've got the kind of the jitters of the NCAA tournament. They've shaken those off. So I'm still going the 4 or the 5, although it is closer this year, Peak, than any other year before.
Yeah, the way you listed off the 3 seeds makes me kind of reconsider this just a little bit. The reason that I'd rather have the reason for having a 6 seed, I guess, is that you at least give the 1 seed another chance to lose before you'd have to play them, because I do think that there is quite a bit of a gap between the 1s and the 2s. The KenPom has his top 4 is Michigan, Arizona, Duke, and Houston. He actually has Connecticut 8th. So I think you're right that Houston could possibly sneak into the one of the final 1 seeds, especially if Connecticut slips up again. Connecticut being 23-2, Houston 22-2 in the Big 12. So that's possible. I see what you're saying about having to play a 3 seed in the second round because those 3 seeds are tough. Right now, and it's really, I like looking at Lenardi, but I totally agree. I actually don't like how he does this. He just does the top 25 in bracket format. It's not like I almost wish it was this is what I think is going to happen. You know, like I think that Kentucky's going to win out. He can look at all the other models and see what does Bartovic have Kentucky finishing with, what does KenPom have Kentucky finishing, and then he could put it, this is what the bracket is projected to look like, not what it's supposed to look like now, because that's how he does it, right? Like if he's doing it as if the season ended today, correct? So he's got Kentucky playing UCLA, Kentucky a 7 seed in St. Louis, playing the winner of Iowa State and Austin Peay. So they're playing Iowa State, and then the 3 seed is Michigan State. I mean, that's tough. Like those two, Iowa State and Michigan State, you'll probably be fortunate to make it to the Sweet 16. But if you get that 6 seed, which is what they have Arkansas there, then you're playing Michigan State in the second round. Still don't like that. So with Florida, Michigan State, who's his other 3s? He's got Purdue and Kansas. I mean, those. How is Kansas a 3? I thought they would be sneaking up to the 2 seed line by now.
Yeah, they got to be right there.
KenPom has them as 12, so that actually checks out as them being a 3. So you're actually right, TJ. I thought I was going to come into this argument with like, no, I think we'd actually be better off being a 6. I don't think it matters. I think that the 3 seeds are so tough. Maybe you get a rematch with Purdue.
Well, and who knows? You know, by the time it's Selection Sunday, maybe the resumes water finds its level, and the 2 seeds are the teams that really should be the 2 seeds, and there is a little bit more of a drop off because things can look different in a month. Things are certainly going to change. Remember, we were looking at UK's final 7 games and saying, "Oh my goodness, this is so incredibly tough." And now we're looking at it, and while there are still plenty of difficult games, it's not nearly as overwhelming as it once appeared. So things are going to change. You never know.
Yeah, a lot of basketball left to be played, but it is crazy to me that Kentucky, what are we down to? Only like 3 home games left? Is that right?
Yep. Tuesday against Georgia, 9 o'clock. That's a late one, which you hate to see that. And then they go on 2 road games at Auburn, at South Carolina, and then Vandy, and then at A&M, and then at Florida. So no more home stands, just 1, then 2 road games, then 1, then a road game, then senior night against these very Gators on March 7th. That's another interesting thing, too. I wonder how UK is going to change as a team between Valentine's Day, going into this game with momentum, the fan base feeling solid for the first time in a little bit, versus what they're going to look like on senior night. Because according to some projections, people are worried it ain't going to be too good.
What projections is that?
Well, just how the SEC standings today would have UK. We talked about this a little bit in hour 1, but the SEC standings today would have Kentucky as the 2 seed in the SEC tournament, but KenPom projects they'll be the 7 seed.
The 7 seed of the SEC tournament?
Of the SEC tournament, correct.
Wow. I know that Bartovic. It's so funny, TJ, and I know we've talked about this, but the numbers loved Kentucky as they were losing. Then they start winning, and the numbers don't reflect that at all. They actually go the other way. It's very weird, very weird. I'm not smart enough to understand how their algorithms work, but I know that Bartovic does have Kentucky losing to Florida by like 15 points, losing to Auburn by 6, losing to Vandy at home by 3. He actually has Kentucky losing out starting with the Vanderbilt game. So he only has Kentucky winning 2 of the next 7 games, the Georgia game at home and South Carolina on the road. And how do you think fans would feel if they do finish, what would that be, 2-5?
Yeah, bad.
I mean,
not good.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be good if that happened.
Do you think that that's possible? I mean, I know it's possible, but what do you I think winning 5 games is going to be tough, but they can win 4, right? Maybe they should win 4.
They need to beat Georgia. They need to be in that Auburn game, but if they lost it wouldn't be the end of the world. They need to beat South Carolina, and then you need to win at least 1 of Vandy at A&M and Florida, but really 2 would be better. So you gotta win three or four.
I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I just think that this team is more than capable of winning 4 of those games.
Well, I'm not saying that they're not capable of doing it, but if you lost at A&M, it really wouldn't be the end of the world. If a team, Vandy, the way that they looked in that game not too long ago, when you lose by 25 points, it's not the craziest thing to think that Vandy could beat them again.
Oh, no, absolutely not. In fact, I mean, they very well could be underdogs, and they probably will be underdogs in that game. But I don't know. I look at, maybe I'm overvaluing the home court advantage of Rupp Arena, but I'd almost expect them we'll see how this game goes on Saturday, but I don't know. I feel kind of good as long as no more injuries happen. Then when Florida comes in here on March 7th, I'm going to expect Kentucky to win that game.
I like the attitude. I like where you're at. And be competitive against Florida and then take care of business against Georgia. It's just been a little too topsy-turvy for me to just dive in head first again. But they're earning it back, and I am more excited about this game. And they should be competitive in it, but it's not the most ideal matchup. But then even if they lose on Saturday, I'll be right back on the Tuesday game against Georgia saying, all right, you need to win this one and maybe even win it somewhat comfortably.
Yeah, we could use we can use a few more comfortable wins. Haven't had a ton of those this year in SEC play and against any of the big high level teams. What's the most comfortable win they've had? I guess Mississippi State. Because even Oklahoma got a little tight down the stretch.
They did beat Oklahoma by 16, so that looked good on paper. It was 24 against Mississippi State, so that's going to be the biggest one.
Which is weird because they were down 12 or 14? I think they were down 12 in that game.
Man, Mississippi State's really bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, South Carolina's worse than them on the record, so you get them on the schedule, and Auburn's only won 2 more conference games than Mississippi State, and you get them on the schedule. Georgia's only won 2 more conference games than Mississippi State. You get them on the schedule. So you do need to win those games. There's no doubt about it. All right, let's read some text here. Gameday Men's Health text line. You have to look at the projected records on Torvik and KenPom. They usually don't align with individual game predictions. Torvik projects 15-3 in the SEC for Florida, so 1 more loss. And the difference between a 6 and a 7 seed this year feels huge. I totally agree with that because I do think at the end of the day, the 2 seeds, there may be like one outlier. There usually is. But I think the 1 seeds will be who the 1 seeds are projected today, Arizona, Michigan, Duke, and UConn. The 2 seeds will be, let's just say I think the next best batch of teams, you'd much rather be a 6 seed than a 7 seed. And you'd much rather, an 8-9 seed is just not going to be it. That's going to be miserable being an 8 or 9 seed. So you definitely want to avoid that, and you don't want to be a 10 seed. It'd be better being an 11 seed probably than it would be to be a 10, 7, 8, or 9, which if we want to talk about seed, kind of jumping seed lines or whatnot, I really do feel that. It would be better to be the 11 seed than it would be to be a 7, 8, 9, or 10. That's kind of crazy to say.
I actually agree. I agree with that. Yeah, 100%.
But there is a big difference between 6 and 7. 6, 7. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Texter says, we're up 4 spots in KenPom since we last played. And it's important to remember that Todd Golden's a massive creep.
It is important. That is important to know that.
We need to make 10 threes to have a chance on Saturday, in my opinion, says one texter.
Which one was that? I'm sorry, I'm reading through them also.
10 threes. 10 threes on Saturday.
Yeah, I've said the magic number is 8, and then Kentucky's figured out ways to win while only hitting 5 and beating good teams doing it. So if they hit 10 threes on Saturday, I'll just go ahead and say it now. If they hit 10 threes on Saturday, they're going to win the game.
I think they'll hit 7. Will be my guess.
And they'll probably lose. I think they need to hit at least 8 to win. But Florida did shoot the ball really well last night. That scares me. If they do that and own the glass, that's going to could be a long day in Gainesville.
I think Florida's guards it won't come easy against Kentucky's guards. I think they'll have to work. I'm excited about that. No midweek game, so we can expect the Journey video release at 8 p.m. on Friday night. And you guys may have discussed it yesterday, but I thought Matt Jones talking with the field of 68 guys was pretty eye-opening. Goodman thinks it's already too late to get a GM in for next season as far as roster building goes. Those conversations should already be happening now. If you come in late, you'll have to overpay, which we've seen. Worried we run it back with Lowe, and I don't think he's a Final Four level point guard. Well, you just can't. You can't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they would try to do that and have Jasper back too. And if Lowe wants to be a backup point guard, I'm all for it. But that's about it for me there.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we had Jack Pilgrim on yesterday. I asked him about the GM position, and we discussed the same thing. And Jeff Goodman is right. It probably is too late for bringing in a GM that will have a drastic effect on next year's roster. So kind of already missed the boat there. That's a little upsetting. We just got to hope that – I mean, look, this is a critical year for Mark Pope. Like, next year is big, and I've been saying it. Like, you can't just be good. Like, you can't just, like, sneak into the top 25 on, in the middle of February. You got to be a top 10 team all year long. You got to be fighting for one of those you got to be fighting for a 1 seed next year. I mean, that's understanding the assignment. So he needs to look at his roster building. He's going to have to – I hope he doesn't have to overpay for good players. Let's get great players here. I kind of agree with the texter about Jalen Lowe. You've heard me say that. But, if you're going to run with Jalen, let's surround him with great shooters. Because next year's critical, man. Like, we're again this year, we're kind of like moving goalposts and being like, okay, he's dealing with injuries. There's all okay, like he's back in the top 25. The SEC plays going better. No more excuses next year, though, right? I mean, there can't be.
Another texter says Flan is shooting 18% from three, and Lee is 25% as well. Easier said than done, but shouldn't extend further than free throw line and make them shoot threes. Yeah, you'd hope Kentucky comes in with a good game plan. But they're playing better. I like your attitude, Peak. Maybe Kentucky's got something on Saturday. What do you think the spread's going to be?
8.5.
Yeah, I'm thinking 9.5, 10, somewhere in that ballpark. Florida's kind of been a wagon lately. They're at home. But Kentucky's played well, too, so we'll see. A texter says, isn't Chili's just a gourmet Applebee's? I called Chili's kind of Tex-Mex, Stephen Peak, and producer Matt freaked out.
It's funny because I think Chili's is just like a better version of Applebee's. That's actually like, I don't, Tex-Mex, I don't know. Why would you say Tex-Mex? Why did you say that?
I was just trying to get him. The description was for a burger place describing Chili's, and I was like, Chili's, I don't know if I really think of them as a burger place. So I was just trying to get him away from that. I will say, though, Googling Chili's, it says family-friendly chain serving Tex-Mex and American fare in Southwestern-style setting. So, producer Matt, what do you think about that?
I mean, they serve Tex-Mex, but I wouldn't recommend it as a Tex-Mex restaurant.
Well, I mean, that's literally how it's described. I don't know. You kind of got on me on that one.
And I'll continue to get on you about that. I love Chili's.
Well, you need to go ahead and get on Google, and I guess just an accurate description, all right? That's what you need to get on. A texter says, my dad and I were actually looking forward to Kentucky play in the second round against Murray State in Indianapolis. Yeah, Patrick Murphy, we all were, buddy. We all were. All right, we're out of time. We should be in studio tomorrow, and we'll continue to break down the Cats versus the Gators, and I had a bunch of nonsense we didn't get to today. Too much trivia, too much sports. Everybody have a good Thursday. We'll see you next time.